Hello, I'm Raekwon, and today I'm excited to talk about something that's very close to my heart: how we can better support our English learner students by embracing their culture and linguistic strengths. So much of what we do as educators is about recognizing the richness that our students bring to the table. When we move away from seeing these learners through a deficit lens and instead focus on their assets, on what they already know, we open up a world of teaching support that our ELs in our classrooms can use, and we build some strong home school connections that truly honor and celebrate their unique backgrounds. Let's begin by discussing the role of culture in teaching and learning, which is foundational in supporting our EL students. Let's think about some cultural influences on teaching and learning. Cultural influences are how our students approach their education. For some, education might look different at home, or they may have different ways of communicating or processing information. As teachers, understanding these influences helps us connect more effectively with our students and tailor our instruction to meet their needs. When we take time to understand the cultural backgrounds of our EL students, we can better support their learning experiences. So now let's think about cultural competence and what role that might play. So cultural competence it's not just about understanding our cultural differences. It's about respecting values and valuing those differences. It's about seeing every student as a whole person and not just as an English learner. When we recognize where students come from, whether that's their home, country, their language, or family traditions, we become better equipped to meet their needs educationally. Cultural competence allows us to create an environment where students feel seen, respected, and understood. Now, that being said, how can EL's cultural values and belief be integrated appropriately when it comes to teaching and learning? We can integrate those cultural values and beliefs very easily by just weaving it into experiences inside of the curriculum. For example, if a student has a strong connection to family-centered traditions, we can create opportunities for them to share their cultural stories inside of the classroom. By incorporating those cultural references into lessons, we show students that their identity matters, and it makes learning more relevant and engaging for them. A classroom that values diversity becomes a place where students can grow and thrive. Now, this role of culture, how does our classrooms and how does our school environments influence this, especially when it comes to language? Well, culture plays a crucial role in shaping how students learn and communicate. For our EL students, the school and classroom environments encourages students to take risks and feel confident as they learn a new language. It's important to create a space where they feel comfortable expressing themselves without fear of judgment. Small changes like using visuals or incorporating books that has multicultural pieces in it, or just having bilingual signs that can help students feel more at home. Now, we also have to take those necessary steps to create this inclusive environment. Creating this environment with understanding that every student brings something different and something unique to the table, this means using differentiated instruction to meet those needs, providing opportunities for all voices to be heard, and making sure that the environment feels welcome and respectful. It's about fostering a sense of belonging, which in turn encourages students to engage with learning meaningfully. Lastly, let's talk about some strategies. Supporting and celebrating cultural diversity can be done through a variety of strategies. One way is by encouraging students to share aspects of their culture through classroom activities such as like show and tell or project-based learning. We can allow students to use their home language during certain assignments or discussions. That can be a powerful tool as well. It's important to recognize all the resources, those language resources, not just as an asset to them, but to the class. Let's now shift our focus to how we can respond to different strengths and needs and identities for EL students, and importance of supporting their social and emotional development. One of the best ways to respond to student needs is by getting to know them on an individual level. Every student has their own strengths, challenges, and learning styles, and some students benefit from more visual aids, while others just need extra time to process. Students with special needs, they might need to collaborate with other professionals, special ed teachers, speech therapists, to ensure that they're getting everything that they need. Some opportunities that we can use to support our EL also means supporting their social and emotional needs, which can be even more complex if they're adjusting to a new country, culture, and language. One way to go about it is to foster a classroom environment where empathy and respect is definitely top notch. It's there. By offering students the chance to share their feelings through activities like journals or maybe even peer mentoring, we create a space where they feel understood and supported. Establishing classroom routine and procedure is a foundational aspect of supporting all students. Understanding that social, emotional, and cultural needs of students helps us design routines that helps us make them feel safe and secure. Let's move on to discussing how family and community practices, what we call funds of knowledge, influence language learning. How might family and community practices influence language learning? Family and community traditions are definitely have a profound impact on student development. A lot of students, EL students for sure, come from rich linguistic and cultural practices. Those traditions come from like storytelling or community activities. These all serve as valuable tools in developing their language skills. We recognize this in the classroom. We can make learning more relevant and allow and pull on some of that information from home and using it as a resource. Some strategies: building strong family and community partnerships starts with communication. It's essential that we reach out to families to make sure that they're accessible, so we can respect that culture and that language. We might need to provide some services such as translation or like a parent-teacher conference where there's a bilingual party. Just making an effort to engage with those families, even make a home visit if necessary. Engaging families effectively means recognizing them as valuable partners in the educational process. One way to do this: offer some workshops, getting them some information. Encourage parents to read with their child in their own language. That's an easy way to reinforce language at home. Lastly, being inclusive as a community and having those engagement practices. That involves us reaching out to local organizations, hosting events that celebrates diversity. Partnering with these organizations allow us to offer our students and families opportunities to connect together with the cultural heritage and share it with others. Organizing different fairs and hosting family nights where they can share food, music, traditions. These are great ways to engage the entire community and give them a sense of belonging where they are. So in conclusion, supporting English language learners goes beyond just teaching a language. It's about embracing their culture, their language strengths, recognizing the wealth of knowledge that they bring to the classroom. Whether it's through culturally responsive teaching, addressing social and emotional needs, or building homeschool connections, we can create an environment where every student feels valued and empowered to succeed. Thank you for listening. I look forward to ongoing work we'll do together to support our diverse learners.